CBS News has learned the Manhattan District Attorney's Office is likely to indict the Trump Organization in the coming days. One of the organization's lawyers says he expects the company to face criminal charges in New York City, but not former President Trump himself. Trump Organization lawyers expect the company will be accused of not paying taxes on corporate benefits and perks. The charges could come this week or early next. Former President Trump responded in a statement saying the organization's actions were, quote, standard practice. And he called New York prosecutors rude, nasty, and totally biased. For more on this, I want to bring in Keir Dougall. He's a CBS News legal contributor and former federal prosecutor. Hi, Keir. Great to see you. What sort of charges could we be looking at here for the Trump Organization?
So what we've heard about in the press relate to tax fraud. What we have been recently hearing about are potentially perks going to different folks within the Trump Organization against which taxes were not paid. So that's the recent reporting. Also in the background is the hush money payments paid to the porn stars. Stormy Daniels is one of them. At the state level, that could potentially be charged as a false entry on books and records of one of the Trump entities. So those are at the state level, the New York state level, those are I think the principal things that we are seeing based on the current reporting.
How could these charges, if they are indeed brought against the Trump Organization, impact the former president, if at all?
Right, that's a great question. So your intro sourced the information that there will be an indictment coming from the Trump Organization's legal team. It sounds like it will be coming, but it's still possible that there may be no charges. If there are charges, it's possible that there will be no convictions as a result of them. If charges are in fact brought and that results in some convictions, the charges themselves may make it difficult for the businesses to operate. They may say fall off in their business. They may have difficulty with financing. These things are all possible. It is possible if there is charged wrongful conduct and it can be linked directly to the president. With his knowing participation, it is possible that the prosecutors could consider and a grand jury could consider charges against President Trump. But based upon what we're hearing so far, that seems like it's a ways off if it happens at all.
And Keir, this is one of several investigations linked to the former president. What will you be watching for specifically in those other investigations? Right.
So the couple of ones, the January 6th insurrection congressional investigation is something that could potentially, obviously, touch on the president. We'll recall that Mr. Giuliani, his lawyer, was the subject of a search warrant executed by federal prosecutors relating to potential election meddling related to Ukraine. That could potentially touch on President Trump. There's an investigation in Fulton County, Georgia, related again to potential election meddling. All of these things are, items that we should keep our eye on. There have been reports, of course, of civil litigation relating to President Trump. So there is potentially a lot of legal action around or related to President Trump to watch for in the future.
Keir Dougall, as always, thank you so much for sharing your legal expertise with us.
Thank you, Tanya.